Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and in this video, we are going to be doing a deep dive look at whether bounties are going to be worth it or not. I know I've been wondering this for a while now, and we've had been having discussions in Discord and voice chat with some of the friends and teammates that I play with. And you have some people that are like, "Oh, I definitely do them every day." You have some people that are like, "Ah, I never do them. Forget about that. I don't even check the bounty board." So instead of me wondering, I said, "Why not?" I'm gonna get my notebook out. I'm gonna write down some numbers. I'm gonna do some charting and figure out exactly how long they take, and we're gonna figure this out for bounties and their current state in the game, if you should be doing them or not, and if they are worth it or not. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so what I want to do is pull up the some of the footage that I have while I was preparing for this video, and I did a sample size of 8. That way I get a couple different sets of bounties that I can compare to each other for how long they took to complete and finish the set of 4, and then I put a timer down here on the bottom so that I can keep track of exactly how long they're taking and figure out on average what we can expect bounties to take. Now, it is worth noting that I am kind of at a place where I'm crushing health 3, so I can kill stuff pretty fast. I can get things like bounties done that are occurring out in the open world pretty quickly. If you are at a place where you're just getting to a new difficulty, you may have to adjust how long the bounties will take, if it's obviously much harder for you to kill the enemies that you're facing. But what I ended up finding was that I finished my last bounty at just under 16 minutes by the time I got back to town and turned it in. This is the 8th bounty being completed right here that you're seeing. So by the time I get it turned in and all that, you could basically call it about 16 minutes or 2 minutes per bounty. And the interesting thing is that my other bounties, I started so you can see here, I'm back at the bounty board, turning stuff in, and I filled up my codex once there. We're right at about 8 minutes when I start the next batch. So both of them took just under 8 minutes to complete each set. So we can mostly assume that when you are at a spot where you are crushing your difficulty and doing pretty well in Hell 2 or Hell 3 or wherever you're at, you can expect on average your bounties to be somewhere around 2 minutes apiece. So now let's just pull out the trusty pen and let's talk about if they are worth it and what my conclusion ended up being based on the numbers. So in terms of gold, it was honestly really negligible. I ended up getting like 5K in 16 minutes. So if you're looking for gold, you're way better off to just farm the open world, just get in a group or just go out there and kill stuff. Really a very insignificant source of gold. The rewards for turning in bounties needs to definitely have more gold, I think, so that it is worth it, because we're not getting any special resource in bounties, which is something we'll talk about a little bit later. We're just getting XP, gold, and normal drop chances in the open world. There really isn't a whole lot of super beneficial stuff like there was in Diablo 3, where bounties were an exclusive thing. They gave you an exclusive thing that you needed on your account to progress your character. So in terms of gold, not very good at all. Then for monster essences, it was basically normal. I got 5 of them in the 16 minutes that I was doing this. Open world farming, I'll try to remember to link to a video over there where I talked about lazy farming at the ship and how much monster essences you should expect to get per minute, or how at what rate they come in when you're trying to do the bestiary turn-ins every day. And what it ended up being, the too long didn't watch on that subject, is about every 2 or 3 minutes. So if you're open world farming for 20 minutes, you're going to get somewhere around like 10 to 12 monster essences probably. Well, no, that's not right. You'd probably get somewhere, around like 7 to 10 monster essences in 20 minutes. So about every 2 or 3 minutes. So 5 in a 16-minute bounty run, when you consider all the teleporting and moving around, is about perfectly. I would expect to get somewhere between 4 to 6 monster essences in doing 8 bounties. And then for the XP, so what happened here was I got 669K XP over the course of these 16 minutes of doing these 8 bounties. Now, we do, like to normalize that to the normal 100% XP rate of the server. I was at a 60% XP, which means I had a 40% penalty on my XP. So when I changed that to normalize it for like 100% normal rate, just so that our data is always even, no matter where we stand in relation to the server Paragon, that ends up being 1.15 million XP that I would have got if I wasn't over leveled, if I was just getting the 100% normal rate. And then when we take that divided by 16 for the minutes involved and getting it, we end up with 72K XP per minute, which is a very important number. And honestly, it's not that bad. It's probably the redeeming quality between the gold, the essences, and the XP. The XP is the one that is nice, because if you're doing like lazy farming, ship farming or something like that, in a full group, you're gonna probably get somewhere between like 60 and low 70s XP per minute. So it's pretty comparable to that. But remember, this is solo and not in a group. Now, if you're open world farming with a dedicated group, you're doing like ROD farming in a perfect circle with players that are trying to be efficient and everybody's doing a good job, you can typically expect somewhere around like 90 to 110 XP per minute. So it would definitely be worse than that. But if you are just a solo player, for the XP per minute gains, I would say bounties are probably worth it. So then what does all of this end up meaning in conclusion, and what am I going to start doing on my main account? You know, it can really go either way, honestly. I think if you have very dedicated friends, you're in like an end game group. Well, I mean, no one's really end game now, but you know what I mean. Like if you're in a group where everyone is dedicated players, they're above server Paragon, you're meeting up with your friends, you're in a Discord call, you're going hard in the paint. I would never leave a situation like that to do bounties. But if you are in a situation where you're struggling to find a group, or maybe you are a solo only player, or you just enjoy playing the game solo, kicking back and not grouping up with anybody, for that player, I would say it makes sense to do your bounties daily. For the player that is spending their time grinding with hardcore grinders, I would say, you can justify skipping your bounties. It's not worth leaving a group like that because you're like, oh, sorry guys, I gotta go. I gotta get my bounties done. It's nothing like that. It's totally fine to miss them. You're not missing out on something amazing or anything. And what this means is the changes I would like to see to bounties is to not just have XP and gold and normal open world farming. I wish it would be like Diablo 3, where bounties were something that you really need. The bounties are something you're rewarded for putting in the diligence and the effort to get them done on a daily basis and keep up with them. I think you should get a special resource. You should get aspirant keys or some of the barrel and stuff like that to upgrade those different stones and even fods. Or you should get hilts for that. That would be a great thing to add to them. If you got hilts for your bounty turn-ins, that would be pretty cool. Anything like that. Rare crests. If you do all of your bounties for an entire week, at the end of the week you get like an eternal legendary crest or something, that would be super cool. I'm just like talking off the top of my head, but I do think bounties need something like that to bring them up over the top, to really staple their or really cement their place in the game and make them something that that I would be making a video talking about. Hey, make sure and do your bounties every day, because they are a pretty good source of staying diligent about and keeping up with the long-term health and progression of your account. But the too long didn't watch version is in their current state. They're extremely meh. They're not really worth it. It's not really going to be a big deal if you do them or not. It basically just comes down to if you are a solo only player, sure, it's worth it. But if you are a hardcore grinder that is constantly in a group, you don't have to really worry about skipping them, and I certainly wouldn't leave your group to go do your bounties or something like that. But yeah, let me know what you think down below and your experience if you've done testing on bounties and everything like that. So that'll do it for me on this one. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out. Lots of Diablo content coming. We've got a lot to cover. I've been doing like double upload kind of days, 15 videos a week kind of thing. So we're really getting after it, and I will see you in the next video. As always, thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.